Welcome to the 8th Annual SCOA Walk Wind-Up Celebration. I'm Ron Swazieri, a member of the Globe Walk Committee, inviting you to join us as we celebrate yet another successful Globe Walk season. As you're probably aware, we usually mark the end of the annual project with a luncheon at the Western Development Museum. Well, this year, due to the current pandemic situation, we'll be celebrating virtually, which means that we won't be able to socialize with our fellow participants, and you'll have to supply your own lunch. Personally, what I'll be missing the most are the scrumptious pies the Western Development Museum has served up for dessert each year. Anyway, today we'll be hearing from representatives of SCOA and the Globe Walk Committee, as well as the Globe Walk Ambassador. And following our custom of presenting some musical entertainment to close out the celebration, we have pre-recorded performances by a couple of acts that I know you'll enjoy. But first up, greetings from the city of Saskatoon, delivered by someone who's enjoyed those dessert pies as much as I have, His Worship the Mayor, Charlie Clark.
Hello everyone, it's Mayor Charlie Clark joining you from my backyard this year for the virtual Globe Walk Wind-Up. The Globe Walk has been organized by the Saskatoon Council on Aging for many years, and it's an always fun, multi-season activity that supports older adults to get out and stay active. And this year, it's been as important as ever. And while I so wish I was able to join all of you in person, alongside Globe Walk Ambassador 106-year-old Sophie Foster at the Western Development Museum to congratulate everyone and enjoy some pie, the ability to move to a virtual format has provided a great way to still remain active and socially engaged, despite all the limitations that this past year has presented as a result of the COVID pandemic. So I'm incredibly impressed with all of the distance that you have traveled, even through the cold winter months. I hear you traveled over 200,000 kilometers walked in February alone. That means that Canada's Great Trail has been walked many times over, reaching from coast to coast to coast. And I always enjoy seeing the fantastic and creative team names, such as the Janice Go-Getters, the Happy Souls, and the Marisols Madames, just to name a few that add to the fun. That team spirit is such a big part of the sense of community that this Globe Walk helps to create, while also keeping people healthy in mind, body, and spirit. So I hope you've all been getting your vaccinations and that you're gearing up for next year so that we can all see each other following another great year of Globe Walk. In the meantime, I hope I see you out there maybe on the Meewasin Trail. Best of luck to all of you and happy walking. Take care.
We thank His Worship for his kind words and hope that we'll have the pleasure of having him join us in person next year at the luncheon, where he'll be enjoying those delicious dessert pies along with all of us. I'd now like to introduce June Godden, Executive Director of SCOA, who will be outlining SCOA's various programs, as well as thanking the sponsors of the Globe Walk.
Congratulations to all the participants who were active during the winter months through the Saskatoon Council on Aging's 8th Annual Globe Walk. The pandemic, of course, caught everyone by surprise, but the Saskatoon Council on Aging quickly adapted to offer programs virtually. Our offices are open to the public with safety protocols in place. As many of you already are aware, the Saskatoon Council on Aging is a nonprofit organization, and this year we are celebrating 30 years of service to nearly 80,000 older adults in Saskatoon and area. The Council on Aging, of course, is dedicated to promoting positive aging for all in an age-friendly community. And we have worked closely with the City of Saskatoon to promote and encourage the use of age-friendly principles to design city services that will enhance the quality of life of older adults and benefit all ages. Saskatoon was officially acknowledged as an age-friendly community by the Government of Saskatchewan in 2019 as a result of collaboration with the city. In addition to the Globe Walk program, the Council on Aging also provides a variety of services. We have information referrals, pamphlet resources of interest to older adults. We have a free monthly social program called the Senior Neighborhood Hub Club. We have lifelong learning programs, a telephone buddy program, Seniors Mastering Technology program, Century Club for older adults 90 and older. We have a free directory of services and activities for older adults. Of course, we have monthly newsletters to keep you informed about all these events. And we have caregiver information and support services. The Council on Aging identifies and acts on unmet needs of older adults and supports older adults to lead healthy, independent lives, to be active and socially engaged. If you are interested to become more connected, think about taking out a membership. Just phone our office anytime at 306-652-2255. The Saskatoon Council on Aging's Globe Walk program would not be possible without the dedicated volunteer team captains, committee volunteers, and supporters. A big thank you to Forever in Motion, Saskatchewan Lotteries, Saskatchewan Seniors Fitness Association, the Community Initiatives Fund, and the Dakota Dunes Community Development Fund.
It's now time to introduce Candace Skrapik, co-chair of the Globe Walk Committee, who in turn will introduce our ambassador, the official representative of the walk.
We know that Sophie credits her longevity to hard work, exercise, and she says good genes as well. So without further ado, I would like you to welcome Sophie Foster as our SCOA Globe Walk 2021 ambassador.
I walk twice a day, morning and afternoon, and I count my paces. So every day I have a total of 500 paces that I walk at my own speed and my own time.
Let's now hear from the other co-chair of our committee, Janet Barnes, who has all the statistics from this year's walk. Let's see how we did.
Hi, Globe Walkers. Welcome to the celebration of the 8th Annual Globe Walk. My name is Janet Barnes, and I'm the co-chair of the SCOA Globe Walk Committee. I am privileged to have been involved with organizing the walk for the past 8 years, together with the support of our sponsors and the Globe Walk Committee. I'm grateful to the committee members, Lauren Amy, Globe Walk Coordinator, Cynthia, Virginia, and June from the Saskatoon Council on Aging, Candace Skrapik, who co-chairs the committee with me, Saskatchewan senior fitness members, including Ron Spaziri, who is our MC today, and who helped plan this event together with Donna Nielsen, Sheldon Krause, and Joyce Tremmel, Kimberly Willison from Forever in Motion, and Alice Simcoe, our Regina representative. Despite all of the challenges that the pandemic has sent our way, we still had a very successful Globe Walk, walking the Trans-Canada Trail. We were able to make all of our events virtual, and so glad that you came along with us as we learned about mindfulness and the importance of being present in the moment, the history of Wanuskewin Heritage Park, and the return of the buffalo as told by Dr. Ernie Walker. We learned about the importance of balance and what to do to keep us upright and on our feet with Dr. Kathy Arnold. We tried functional fitness for older adults with Proactive Fitness and learned how to practice yoga in a chair. We even had 2 poems written and read to us by Louise Haff, Poet Laureate. We hope that you enjoyed these events. I'd like to share with you now some of the results from this year's Globe Walk. We had 51 teams with 978 walkers, including 128 from Regina. In addition to those teams from Regina, we also had teams from Saskatoon, Allen, Borden, Clavette, Warman, and Watrous. The largest team had 54 walkers, and the Nutana Globe Walkers had the highest total of 30,096 kilometers. There were 15 people over the age of 100 that participated this year, and 21 between the ages of 90 and 99. How inspiring is that? We walked the Trans-Canada Trail 17 times together. Pretty amazing. But in the end, it's not the totals that are important, but rather that the Globe Walk motivated you to move more and be active during the cold winter months. There were also a number of captains that submitted stories and photos that are so inspirational and will be posted on the website. One of the stories that was sent in said, "There is a bench on the Trans-Canada Trail at the turnoff to Wanuskewin that says dreams can come true." For me, the 2021 Globe Walk was a dream come true. I had a long-standing dream to walk the Great Trail from coast to coast. However, that did not look too possible anymore, but with all the support of the Globe Walkers, my dream came true. Thanks to all of you, and maybe I will meet some of you on the Trans-Canada Trail for real as we continue our journey. I would like to thank all of you participating on the walk this year, including those of you who attended the special monthly events, those who sent in photos, stories, and poems, and a very special thank you to the captains who helped to keep you motivated, sent in your kilometers every month, and kept you in the loop with information about GlobeWalk. Please make sure and visit the SCOA GlobeWalk website for final information and watch for news in the fall on the 2022 GlobeWalk. Also watch for the evaluation survey that will be sent out soon. And now we'll be treating you to a slideshow that was developed to show some of your activities during the walk this year. Enjoy your afternoon and see you next year.
Normally at this time at our Western Development Museum luncheon, we'd be finishing off our meal with a couple of helpings of dessert. Personally speaking, I could never decide between the lemon meringue or Saskatoon berry pie, so just had to have one of each. And it'd also be time for the entertainment portion of the program. Over the years, we've been treated to a variety of superb musical acts, and this year we were determined to carry on that tradition. Recently, Saskatoon's community radio station, CFCR, presented a virtual cultural showcase from the Capital Music Club that featured a number of multicultural performers. CFCR has very graciously allowed us to present two of those acts for our enjoyment today. First up, Mexican vocalist Kielo Cadillo singing in Portuguese and Spanish, accompanied by guitarist Ian Lofgren. They'll be followed by a flamenco dance performance by Alma Flamenca. We hope you enjoy the presentation.
No existe un momento del día en que pueda apartarme de ti. El mundo parece distinto cuando no estás junto a mí. No hay bella melodía en que no surjas tú, ni yo quiero escucharla si no la escuchas tú. es que te has convertido en parte de mi alma. Ya nada me consuela si no estás tú también. Más allá de tus labios, del sol y las estrellas, contigo en la distancia, amado mío, estoy. No hay bella melodía en que no surjas tú, ni yo quiero escucharla si no la escuchas tú. Y es que te has convertido en parte de mi alma. Ya nada me consuela si no estás tú también. Más allá de tus labios, del sol y las estrellas, contigo en la distancia, amado mío, estoy. Un cantinho, un violão, esse amor uma canção pra fazer feliz a quem se ama. Muita calma pra pensar e ter tempo pra sonhar. Da janela ver seu corcovado, redentor, que lindo. Quero a vida sempre assim, com você perto de mim, até o apagar da velha chama. E eu que era triste, descrente desse mundo, a me encontrar você eu conheci. O que é felicidade, meu amor? Cantinho, um violão, esse amor uma canção pra fazer feliz a quem se ama. Muita calma pra pensar e ter tempo pra sonhar. Da janela ver seu corcovado, redentor, que lindo. Quero vida sempre assim, com você perto de mim, até o apagar da velha chama. E eu que era triste, descrente desse mundo, a me encontrar você eu conheci. Felicidade, meu amor, meu amor, meu amor, meu amor, meu
Y con Lida, y con Lida, y con Dejemos la hipocresía y vamos a vivir fame y vivir. Esto no es vivir, ay, esto no es vivir, ay, esto no es vivir, ay. Como castillo de arena, como camino sin fin, con una penetración. Esta forma de vivir, porque sufrimos tanto y no tenemos que morir, y así es la vida. Ay, esto no es vivir, ay, esto no es vivir. Me enamoré de una gitana que me decía mi después a mí volvíaba, ay, a mí volvíaba, ay, a mí volvíaba. Ay, 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 y qué bonita eres. Ay, 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 qué bonita qué bonita qué bonita eres. Ay, 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 y qué bonita eres. Ay, 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 qué bonita eres. Qué bonita eres. Ay, ay, ay.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our Globe Walk celebration for this year. Congratulations to all those who participated in the 8th annual Globe Walk, and a big thank you to all the hardworking people who organized and made the project happen. Within the next few days, a survey will be emailed to all those who took part in the walk. We'd like your feedback and comments on the walk. And team captains, please note that there will be a special section of the survey for you to complete. And as an incentive to complete the short survey, everyone who does so will be entered into a draw for one of 2 $25 gift cards from 3 farmers, makers of healthy, wholesome snacks. So we urge you to stay connected to the Globe Walk project by visiting our website at scoaglobewalk.net. And keep in mind that the Saskatoon Council on Aging has numerous resources available for older adults, which can be accessed through its website at scoa.ca. For example, SCOA's spring issue of its Coming of Age newsletter on its website contains a most informative article on being resilient in our COVID-19 world. And to reach the SCOA office by phone, simply dial 306-652-2255. So we thank you for your support of the Globe Walk project and look forward to having you join us again next January. So keep your eye on our website toward the end of this year for details of the upcoming 9th annual SCOA Globe Walk, including the unveiling of next year's theme. And hopefully we'll be able to enjoy next year's monthly Globe Walk events in person, including the celebration luncheon, at which we'll once again be able to indulge in those tasty dessert pies. Until then, take care.
Taken my bows and my curtain calls. You brought me fame and fortune and everything that goes with it. I thank you all.